Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Come into the room if you're a part of hashtag replay gang, as Monica often is. Can you please check in the description box below? I'll have when I actually start the gig, when the gig actually gets started. I have people in the room. Some guys are posting this. Please hit that like button. I do apologize for those of you guys who watched my MILF Manor episode. The Wi-Fi was even worse than I expected it to be. After watching the playback, it's not watchable. Really, it truly isn't. So thank you for those of you who watched it anyway. We're going to get a couple more people into the room. Hello, Better Days. Hi, Mazcat. Mazcat, where are you that it's evening? It's smack dab in the middle of the day where I am. Where are you? Good morning. Hello. Oh, London. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. It's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 7 p.m. 1900. Yes, I did move. I live in Minneapolis now. Hello. Oh, I've got 2 people from the Bronx. Jackie Maxwell is from the Bronx as well. Christian. Hi, Christian Gonzalez. How art thou? Ooh, Cape Town. Nice. 26 people in the room. We're probably going to get started around the 5-minute, 6-minute mark. They start to tell everybody that I'm live around that time. I just finished watching Drag Race. A little bit of love goes a long, long way. Night till a better day. A little bit of love. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, another person from the Bronx? What? The Bronx stand up. The Bronx stand up. I lived in Co-op City for about 10 months. And if you know about Co-op City, the only train, at least when I lived there, the only train that went there was the 6 train. The local train, girl. She couldn't even take an express. I would have to take the express to like a certain point and then switch over to the 6. And I really wasn't interested in switching over, to be honest. So I would just get on this. I would just wait for the 6 and sit there. That's a long ass ride. But I did read a lot of books. Because I worked on 50th and I worked on 5th and 50th. So, walked on over to that good old 6 train at 50th Street and then every single stop all the way until the end. And then you get off on the last stop and then you take a bus. And the bus was like 5 stops. Girl. Oh, trust and believe. Trust and believe. I want to know what everybody else thought of this because I have very antiquated ideas about race because I grew up about being proud of being Black, and I grew up with I know what I now recognize as racist with the 1/10 or the 1 drop rule, but it still lives in me. So I'm like, if you consider yourself Black, because I just can't. Oh, thank you, Christian. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we're almost at 6. We'll get there. Here we go. Got almost 30 seconds. Let's get all the things together. Oh, the banner is in the other one, so I got to switch over to the other brand because that's where Melanated is located. Do we really need the pictures of these folks? We don't need the pictures of these folks. You guys are fine, right? I don't have to switch back over to DocuSweeties. Great. Glad that we all could come to a consensus on that. Have a mild headache. It'll be fine. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, everyone. What is my intro? Hey, guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 36, Car Chase from Hell. If you are new to my channel, my name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiancé, Married at First Sight, Seeking Sister Wife, MILF Manor. Right now I'm doing RuPaul's Drag Race as well. That's not a reality relationship show, but you know, it's reality competition. I like that too. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Now, let me tell you something. If at any point through this, you feel like, oh my God, what could I do extra for Wah if I wanted to give her a little tip? You could do so. I mean, $1, whatever you wanted to do, you could do so. Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that good stuff. Or if you're an international baddie, an international girly, an international person, you could hit that that thumbs up that's next to, it's like a thank you or something. You could do that too, because I don't have on super chats. So yeah, and that's for anybody who's watching afterwards. You could always do a thank you. And gives a little monies, and a little bit of that monies goes to YouTube, and a little of that monies goes to me. So if you want to do that, you could do so. Okay, let's jump right into this episode. We've got all the heavy hitters in the room. So thank you for those of you who are joining me live, who are able to comment along, who are able to give me suggestions, answer my questions in real life, because you know, sometimes I don't be knowing stuff. Anyways, let's go on ahead and start with Derek and Monique, because I don't like Monique a lot, and I just want to get her over with. So they're in the car. They're driving skirt away from this person in this white car. And Derek is insistent that she continues to drive. And now producers are in the car. They're scared. They're wimpy. And I'm like, listen, I really feel like if you were choosing to be the camera person or the producer on a show called Love After Lockup and you ain't prepared for smoke, then you really shouldn't be on the show. Now, I'm not saying that they should be prepared to be shot or anything like that, because maybe that's where their minds were going, especially because Derek was like, drive off, drive off. I was thinking that Derek was telling them to drive away because he did not want any drama. I thought that it was his sisters, obviously some women in the car. Not to say that people don't shoot people up and they're women, but I'm just saying it really felt like Derek's panic spread to everybody and they became mildly irrational. Now, they're going to have Monique driving, Monique who insists on being the chauffeur, which at some point I wish that she would have just let somebody else drive, because she's over here crying, talking about she doesn't know what to do. And Derek is just continuously telling her to drive. And then you know what this woman says? Call the police. And they're all about to call the police. And Derek is like, listen, you guys, I am on parole. This is my 3rd day out. Please don't call the police. And Monique is like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to die. And I said, Derek, this is the moment when you know Monique is not ride or die. Now, I'm not saying that Monique should have cared. I'm just saying that she's not about that life. So she needs to walk away from the situation. So they finally get to a place of safety. The security guard gets into the car with her. And I don't know what she thought that security guard is going to do. I don't know why she didn't let that man drive. And then we find out that Derek actually knew who was in the car. And he kind of drummed up that whole drama because he didn't want Monique to meet who was in the car. So he led her to believe that they was about to get shot or something. I don't know. It was just too much. It was too much, especially for somebody who was like, oh, I would beat her ass. And that's your sisters. Those are probably your sisters. And she's just, I don't know. I just want Monique to be more about it. And the producers are real scary. They're real scary, these producers. I mean, they are real scary. So there's that. So she says she doesn't feel safe once they get back to the hotel. And I said, well, Derek can't for sure save you. Derek, listen, Monique, she don't need to be with Derek. She just need to take her ass home. Because if he's got a lot going on in his life, it might cause a situation where she needs to run or she needs to make some like tactical maneuvers, and she may not be prepared for that because he surely cannot protect her. He can't. There's nothing that he could do. If it comes on a foot chase and he needs to get out of a situation, he's gonna have to leave Monique in the dust. So I just really feel like if she doesn't feel safe, she needs to pack up her stuff and goes home. But what she thinks is that she gonna take him, like she just wants to fold this man in her pocket and she wants him to jump on her back and for her to ride him into the sunset, for him to ride her into the sunset. Because I'm just like, girl, you are not ready for all that is gonna happen in this person's life. You think you're about it, and you absolutely are not. This whole time he knows this person. And he says that he just didn't want Monique to, like the drama to happen with Monique. So he tells her just to drive off because he didn't want any problems. So the next morning, she's plotting on changing their hotel. She's plotting on getting a new car. And she's also plotting on staying longer. And he's like, no. Not only do I not want you to stay longer, in fact, I'm going to go buy some stuff for myself and you just go ahead and stay here. He says Monique is smothering him, and I can absolutely believe it. She is. I don't know why she thinks that her protection or him moving into her space is going to somehow keep him away from whatever. She wants him to lead. He says that he's dominant and he wants to lead this relationship, but she's in a tug of war with him right now. And it's dumb. And she's so easily hurt. Her feelings are so easily hurt when he doesn't want to literally be just snuggle up underneath her. He's dumb too. I don't know why he got in this. I do know why. He got in this relationship because she did all this stuff for him and he feels like he should. He feels like he's indebted to her. He feels like, she does provide a soft landing space for himself. I guess like an alternate, but he still is about hanging out and having a good time, at least on his first couple of days out. So watching these two bumble through this situation is annoying. Also knowing that there might be some kind of drama on the other end where they're not actually together in real life. They did a live the other day and they weren't in the same space, or maybe they were, but they just chose to use different. I don't know what's going on with them. And it's just not as interesting. Don't you miss the good old days of Michael and Sarah and Meghan, not Markle? Don't you just miss the good old days of, what's her name? Chevelle? Oh, Chevelle, she was crazy, but we could just fondly look back. Andrea and Lamar, just fond memories of Andrea and Lamar. Yeah, we had some good people on this show. Remember Jonna and Garrett? Oh, season 1. Hell, I'd even take Lacey and Shane at this point. Lacey, Shane, Sean. I'd take them. Oh, Love After Lockup tea. Apparently, Lacey's baby, the baby Summer that she supposedly had with Shane, that isn't actually Shane's biological child because Shane was shooting blanks. His sperm was no good. So they ended up using a sperm donor. And so I guess, here's the truth. Shane possibly signed the birth certificate. So he legally is supposed to take care of Summer, regardless if that's his biological baby or not. But because, she married John. Oh, Lacey and John got married. Lacey and John got married. John, the one who was coming off of heroin, the one she's known for forever. Girl. So anyways, just a little bit of Love After Lockup tea. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Chris and Gabby. I guess because we have to. Chris says that he prayed for Gabby and that she is the woman of his dreams. Gabby is stupid because she expects Chris to know how to be a husband when we're trying to figure out if any of them have any idea what it means to be a husband or a wife, either in the like secular terms or the biblical terms or whatever hood terms they've come together on. But it seems like neither of them know what to do because Gabby's over here lying. She's over here getting into bar fights and fighting police and security guards and catching charges. And she's over here driving on a suspended license twice. And now she's caught charges. And now she needs to see a lawyer. And we know in real life that he beat her up. So, I mean, their whole shit is just a mess. Watching them and Derek and Monique is horrible. And I don't know if Derek is horrible because Monique is so horrible. And then Gabby and Chris are just annoying to watch. It makes me so glad that at the very least, the one silver lining of this whole thing is that Gabby doesn't have children. That at least she's responsible enough to either be on some kind of birth control or just, I don't know. She must be on birth control, girl, because I don't think she'd be responsible at all. So she gonna tell this fool that her car is in the shop and then holler at him in the street as though he's wrong for asking where the car is, and her being like, "Are you stupid? The car's in the shop. That means something's wrong with it." Belittling him. And then when he catches her and sees the car outside and he tries to ask her what she's doing, she's going to say, "Don't yell at me." Girl, nobody was yelling at you. She is a gaslighter. And it's ridiculous. I also want to know terroristic threats. What kind did she say? This is what must have happened. She was like, "Listen, if y'all don't let my friend do what she want to, I'm blowing this whole building up." That's what she said. She told the police that she's about to blow this building up. I don't know what she said. I'm just guessing. What else could terroristic threats mean besides me you gonna blow some shit up? Because I mean, like, if you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna come in here and shoot this joint up," that's less terrorism and more like white male. You know what I'm saying? Like, to come into a spot and shoot folk up, that's very incel of you. That's very I hate black people and I hate women of you to say. You know what I'm saying? So she made some kind of threats. She said, "I'm gonna blow this whole thing up." And they were like, "Up, terroristic threats." I didn't know that was a thing. Mass shootings. So what are mass shootings? I guess I'd like, okay, so a terrorist attack is when, because a terror is like when you are purposefully doing your thing, making threats to cause terror. That is a terrorist, somebody who invokes terror. So mass shootings are a type of terrorist attack, right? But blowing up is like the one that we most associate it with. I mean, listen, I'm gonna call everybody a terrorist. You can be homegrown, you can be not American. You all are terrorists. If your whole thing is to invoke terror, you are a terrorist. So she either said, "I'm gonna this joint up," or she said, "I'm gonna blow this joint up." And they were like terroristic threats. So now she has charges. And so she went to see this lawyer whose name is Montel Figgins, which sounds like "this is how we do it," but also like "this is how we do it." Like if he was like British. This sounds like British Montel Jordan. This sounds like if J.K. Rowling were to create a character who was from the American version of Hogwarts, his name would be Montel Figgins. Like, Montel Figgins. Montel Figgins is a person whose father is British, white, and mother is from Detroit, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? That's who Montel Figgins is. Montel Figgins loves fried chicken and a cup of tea. That's who Montel Figgins is. He likes fried. He likes a cup of tea, a warm cup of tea, a cuppa with some fried chicken together. Anyways, so Montel Figgins, Esquire, Montel Figgins, Esquire, tells Gabby that she was driving triple the speed limit. And I said, no, no, no. If she's driving 90 in a 45, that's double. That's almost, yank this out. That's double the speed limit. So, anyways, double the speed limit twice. I mean, this is a woman who don't give a. She thinks she could do whatever she wants. She literally thinks that she could do whatever she wants without there being any consequences. And every time she gets caught up. This is the same woman who put a hot poker in her vajayjay and then the next day let some dirty, dusty Negro from the prison fuck her in a bathroom. A public bus station bathroom. Thank you, Shan. Shan in Vancouver. Thank you. If you guys are at all interested in Bravo shows, that's Shan's your girl. So check out her channel. She does a Bravo, all the Bravo joints. So anywho, Chris says that he's gonna hold Gabby down, so he loves her or whatever. And then she goes to see Montel Figgins and tells him about all her charges and stuff. It's not her actual lawyer. I think she just did it for the scene of the show to go to a lawyer, so a lawyer can explain things to her. And then she also asks him if he does divorces. And I said, not only are you dumb, but you are dumb. No. A lawyer who would handle this kind of case for you is not going to also be a divorce lawyer. You know who is also not a divorce lawyer? A tax lawyer. They're not divorce lawyer either. So, versus Chris loves her hair and teeth. So, okay. So we're waiting to see what happens. But if this girl goes to prison, which I hope she does, which we know she doesn't, but I hope she does anyway. I hope there's prison. I hope she goes into prison next month. I hope that all of the, as Cameron would say, vlogs start to report that Gabby has gone to prison for I don't know what, but I want her to go to jail because she starts crying. So that means that she actually cares. So put her ass in jail. But I feel like putting her in jail would only give her more street cred. Like it would only hype her up even more. Like, so what? I went to prison. But anyways, so if she goes to prison though, it's gonna mess up where he can parole because he can't be with somebody else who's a felon. They'd be just two idiot felons. And he actually kind of thinks that's exciting, like Bonnie and Clyde. And none of us thinks it's exciting. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Cameron and Eris. Now, they go directly to the studio because he has to lay down some tracks. And he talks about, I think he talks about smelling her juices in his beard, but I'm not certain that I heard that because I had gotten up to go into the bathroom. I'm going to do the rest of this in my fake accent. This is very much Southern white lady, but not poor, but not Savannah rich. I'm just making all of this up. So let's do it. So Eris and Cameron. So Eris takes him to the studio so he can get with his friends, and she warns him that he needs not be drinking. Okay? That if he drinks, that it's going to lead to other stuff, and she's not here for it because he only got one extra chance to mess up before she taking her and her baby and they moving on. So she drops him off. And she gets in there too and meets his little friends. And none of his friends offer her a seat. She's standing in the corner and every single one of them friends is just sitting in their chairs listening to Cameron rap. Now, Cameron gonna tell them all that he getting married and they better go get them some suits. So one of the friends was like, I don't even know who this is because Cameron has always made fun of him for having girlfriends. He's always sided out of the shit out of him. So he's like, I don't understand like what's going on. But Cameron's like, listen, she held me down. She got me through a lot of hard times. She took 10K out of her 401k for me. So I'm gonna marry her. And he gets into the booth and he lays down some tracks and he's got a little bit of fun, quirky edge to him. I was like, good for you for just coming in, hearing a beat and just automatically jumping in on it. This is why I think this was staged just a little bit. Maybe they had them wear the same clothes, because how you just gonna jump in the booth? Now, was this a raggedy taggedy studio? Yes. Did this not look like a raggedy aggedy studio in which Uzman from 90 Day Fiance could have once done his music in, right? This looks like a Biniam from Ethiopia studio. It's giving real raggy taggy. But listen, if the sounds come out correct, then he saved himself a lot of money than being in a fancy ass studio with a like legit like a highfalutin producer. But all the homeboys are there and they're in full support of this. So next stop is to go get him a suit. So they go off, but here's what he does. He does drink while he's there. He pops bottles. He smokes on a little smoke. And Eris is really concerned that this kind of behavior is going to lead to other behaviors that got him caught up. And he's like, listen, babe, I am legitimately never going to fly with 30 pounds of marijuana in my suitcase again. So you don't have to worry about me. I'm not going to do that anymore. So they then go get him a suit. He's told his sisters, listen, sis, I'm going to need y'all to meet me at this spot. Come dressed up because there's cameras with me and you're going to meet my girl. So they get there. He tells them that he's going to get married and they're shocked but they are having positive intent. They want to get to know Eris. And so Eris is very nervous because she wants to impress them. She wants everything to go well. And this is what I love to see. I love to see these three women talk to each other, have real deal conversations about, her daughter and like, what their plans are for the future. And one of the sister actually says that, I know that they're taking a chance and they're giving it a shot. And I love that attitude of like, listen, my brother is grown. I haven't seen him in 3 years, and this is a crazy bombshell that he's dropping on me. My brother is grown. And if him and this woman want to take a chance on love straight out of prison, who am I to get in their way? Like, let me just support them. Both of his sisters were looking good, though. I mean, I've never wanted a pair of, Parole blood bandana platform heels in my life. And I said, them's is cute. And the other sister came in. I mean, body right, crop top, high bun. One of the sisters with the Paru red, Bloods and Crips, Bloods shoes looks just like him. That's his sister. That is his sister. She also had a split down the middle of a shirt and half a titty hanging out. I support it. And I love that like the sisters were like, listen, I hope everything works out so we don't have to come and knock on the door like, plop, 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 like, hey, what's going on? So basically saying, Eris needs to be cool. And I think Eris is going to go cool. But the thing is, though, you don't know. Like, you would meet Justine and think that she's cool too. I mean, not that Justine is not cool, but she got a little crazy in her. I feel like when I say blood, people don't know what I'm talking about. Like, so I have to say Bloods and the Crips, and I specifically have to say Paru. I mean, that's what it seems like, but I'm not going to say that Eris doesn't care about her daughter. It's just the way that she's being edited right now. I think it was weird that she was like, oh, my daughter needs a dad because her dad doesn't live here. I personally don't understand that because I'm not a single mother. So I don't know. I don't like, in my mind, I'm like, if my dad is still alive, then my child has a dad. If my brother is still alive, then my child has a male to look up to. I don't understand why. For me, like, but listen, I don't understand why uncles and fathers cannot be male figures in their life because yeah. But I mean, people have very like specific ideas of what they feel like a child won't grow up right if they don't have both male and female in the house, or if they don't have two parents in the house, or if they don't have like male and masculine and feminine energies in the house. And I'm like, I don't think that is correct at all. I think that a lot of that is like society telling us that that's what is needed. I think that we should be very much supportive and aware that there is no perfect idyllic family. People come from perfect idyllic families and still come out fucked up and still make poor choices. It's like we're all trying to hunt for the perfect ingredients to make the right family. And I don't think that there is one. I think that we all need to make room for all different types of familial homes, of family homes. Whether that be single mom, single dad, there are some stresses that come with the singleness of it, finances being one of them. And maybe that parent can't be 100% there for their kids and also be 100% for themselves. They lose their self in the midst. Yes, there are pitfalls, but for us to like make it seem like having a two-parent household is it, and if you do have a two-parent household, then you're gonna be fine, or that you should be a well-rounded individual, is bullpucky. It's bullpucky, because you could have a perfect family that has all the right morals and has everything, and your child gets molested at their friend's house, and it throws your whole family dynamic. Now your child has other things that they can't manage, or the other influences change whatever the nuclear family is, and so nothing is perfect. Nothing is. I just don't like that. I don't like that idea. Then we shift blame on no. Anywho, that's why I was annoyed when she said that, she needs a male figure. She doesn't necessarily need a male figure in her life. Because if that male figure isn't good, and I don't know if Cameron is good, people have male figures in their life and still make poor choices, Michael. So anyways, let's move on to Michael and Justine. So we got Michael and Justine, and they love to wear matching outfits. And listen, I love it. I love a match. I wish that I could find me a fine man so that I can wear matching clothes with him too. Okay. So he's in the house having his final farewells with his kids. He's like, you got to FaceTime me. And Justine is doing his hair. And his mother and sister come over, and Justine pulls them aside to have a conversation with them about their last interaction. The mother was still very defensive, and it was like, you're trying to come at me, moving your hands all over the place and having an attitude. And then Justine has an ITM where she's like, why is she trying to paint me as the angry Black woman? And I was like, Justine, you're talking to another Black woman, right? I will fight a Dominican person every single time they walk through the space and try to tell me that they're not Black. The Isle of Hispaniola has Black people on both sides of that imaginary line. And just because the Spaniards done told you that you was Spanish, I beg to differ. Take your ass to Spain and talk to them Spaniards, and let me see if they be like, oh, hey, Spaniard, fellow Spaniard, you are not Spanish. So there's that. And then number two, Justine, like, I'm glad that Justine considers herself a Black woman. That made me happy, because, sometimes these folks, we got these new age folks be like, oh, I'm half Black and half white. I'm not Black. I'm both. And I'm like, okay, girl. I'm so happy that you live in the world. You live in a world where wherever it is that you traverse, everyone is looking at you like, hey, half Black, half white person. If that's your experience, then that's your experience. And if those folks who are like, I don't really feel Black, it's not a feeling, it is a state of being. You might not have Black American specific experiences, But I mean, that doesn't mean you're not Black. That doesn't mean that your experience in the way that non-Black people treat you is different. And listen, no shade to the half Black kids who were made fun of by other Black kids. I personally did not experience that. Where I grew up, half Black children were revered and put on a pedestal for their good hair. So I have never seen the "you're not Black enough" situations with half Black folk, especially if they were ghetto. Let me tell you about me, though. I've gotten the half that "you're not Black enough," and there's probably plenty of folk out there who are like, how could anybody say that to you? Like, you didn't have that experience. There's all this shit on TikTok too, because you know what's happening right now on TikTok is that there's a battle between like the full Black kids who spoke white, who like grew up in the suburbs, and the like Black people who consider themselves to be well-rounded Blacks. I don't know. And right now, the like Black folks that grew up in the suburbs who speak white are trying to defend themselves and defend their frustration with other Black people. And then those other Black people are like, did nobody tell you that you was this way? It's because you guys act so bougie. Y'all act like y'all better than us. And I'm going to personally say, from my experience, I never thought I was better than anybody until everybody started telling me that I was acting like I was better than them. And then I was like, well, am I? I mean, don't tell me I'm acting like I'm better than you, because I will continue on that course. And then I'm going to be terrible, which is what happened. Everybody kept saying, oh, you think you're better. You think you're better. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't think I'm better. But if you think I'm better, then I'll go on ahead and sit in that seat. And that's what happened. So then I became the asshole because I sat in the seat of I'm better than you. And it's because they gave it to me. They put the crown on my head. So I walked around with the crown, and it was wrong. And I was a child trying to cope. And, you know, eventually I got to a point in my life where I wasn't doing it anymore, but everyone still put the crown on me. And then I was doing it. And then I was the asshole. And now I'm not the asshole anymore. Because the truth is that I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just think I'm smarter than most. Ooh. See, I think being smart, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I mean, and I don't even think I'm that smart. That's the whole thing. And I don't think I'm smarter than anybody. I just am shocked when people don't know the things that I know. And then that shock means like, oh, you think you're better. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't think I'm better. I just read a lot and I have a lot of information, and you get upset because I give out too much information. Anyways. Exactly. Put that crown on. Do the same thing without a care. Yeah, no, I had a care. I now care about it and I feel bad about it. But like, I mean, I really do think that there's an internal struggle happening. And it's interesting when you see it on TV. And that's what we're seeing, I think, between Justine and the mother. The mother feels like she needs to be respected and exalted at all times. And Justine feels like, I'm gonna give everybody the smoke. So there's that. Oh, DG, you said, interesting. Interesting about what? Okay. Anyways, so Michael comes over to have the conversation with the girls, and they were like, "Oh no, it's just us." And he's like, "No, I want to hear." And I thought that was really nice to show the support. The support. Oh wait, that's so interesting. I love children coming to their own and F them daddy's girl. Okay, great. Anyways, so I love the fact that he came over to support Justine and that he hugged her the whole time, even when she said, I'm going to defend myself and my kids. And the mother's like, you have to earn my trust again. And then the daughter's like, yeah, because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, you guys are coming with old world nonsense. Like, don't nobody owe you anything. Like, don't nobody owe you anything because I am staunchly sitting in my don't nobody owe you anything because you're an elder. I'm sitting in it. And I fight my father on it all the time. He's so annoyed with me. He's annoyed with me. Because I'm like, you're not just going to say whatever you want to me. It stops now. And I love it when adults teach their children that they don't have to hug nobody, that they don't have to give nobody no kiss, that they don't have to respect anybody who doesn't respect them. Now, you should have respect in general and like remove yourself from situations if you feel disrespected. I believe in that. I don't believe in unnecessarily arguing with folk in public that you don't know. But if you're standing up for your mental health and your peace of mind from family members who think that you owe them something simply because they were born 20 years before you, is wild to me. I'm like, I owe you nothing because guess what? What have you done for me? Dun, 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 dun. What have you done for me? You know what I'm saying? Not what have you done for me as far as like the support and the love of an elder, but I mean like respect is earned. And if things that you've done throughout my life has caused me to have like an utmost amount of respect for you, then it's fine. And if things that you've done caused me to lose that respect for you, then I've lost it. And there's nothing you can do to get it back. There's nothing you can do. You got to earn it back just like if anybody else. I don't owe it to you simply because we have the same DNA. So anyways, what did you guys think about her saying she's being stereotyped as an angry Black woman? Did you not find it a little odd that she said that in front of another Black woman? So anyways, we then find out that Michael is going to be on parole for 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. This is steeped in racism. I'm trying to think. The only crime that I truly believe deserves, he's like some kind of kingpin or racketeering. I don't know, girl, something with drugs and having a whole network of drugs being done, like whatever. Is someone who is a sex offender, like somebody who like is legitimately a pedophile, or like a statutory rapist, somebody who enjoys younger people and grooms them and takes advantage of them. Those people need to be on parole for the rest of their life because they need to be watched because they're unable to control themselves, right? We all listen. I'm going to say a statement and everyone's going to be mad at me, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who are attracted to young people and they don't act on it because they know that their attraction is wrong, that their attraction is not accepted in our society and is incredibly damaging and horrible to the other person. And then there are people who act on their pedophilia. There are people who act on their liking of the young because they don't have any self-control and they've convinced themselves that their attraction is okay. Those people need to be watched for the rest of their fucking lives. People who, serial killers, need to be watched for the rest of their fucking lives if they get out of prison for some crazy ass reason. You know what I'm saying? Like there like people who steal, people who like commit like fraud and have ruined everybody's lives. White collar criminals who like can't help but steal people's pensions. And if we let them out of prison, we got to watch every single move they make for the next 20 years. Absolutely. Because they don't have good moral compasses. But for what Michael did, I want to know what his stipulations are going to be for the next 20 years. Is it going to be he can't be out after 9? Is it going to be that he can't leave the state without permission? It feels like absolute races. I don't understand how this man got 20 years of probation. Could you imagine 20 years of your life never having to have, you can't have any run-ins with the police. Now, there's plenty of you out there who've never had a run-in with the police in your life. Now, I truly haven't. I've only had 2 fix-it tickets, and then one time I had to call the police to my house because somebody was acting erratic and they needed to go. And then they actually did leave, but then they were acting so erratic they left, and I'm pretty sure that they were drunk. And I called the police to like describe the person and gave them their bag and like whatever. But every single encounter I've ever had with the police they have been rude to me. So to me, calling them doesn't help anything. I got pulled over for a fix-it ticket, and two of them pulled me over, flashed the lights on me, and then were very mean to me when they came to the car. Had everything, had all my papers. And they're like, well, your back lights are out. You could have killed somebody. Oh, I could have killed someone? Yeah, because we couldn't tell that you were slowing down because we didn't see your brake lights on. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be driving if you can't tell when someone in front of you is slowing down. Huh? Maybe that's your fault. Now, did I deserve a fix-it ticket? Yes, because the circuits in my car had like gone out and all I did was like fucking change something stupid and it came back on again, right? Like this is an old car from like 94, so it had like circuits or whatever in it. I just needed to get a new circuit and like change it. But like the way that they acted was that I was a criminal. I'm on a criminal pulse, okay? Hear me, little bitty 20-year-old baby driving like an old ass 94 something or other. I don't know, girl. Just rude. Just rude. Two of them. High beams. Fix a ticket. You could have killed someone. No, you have a higher chance of killing someone on a day-to-day than me. Just like calm down. You got other shit to do. Don't you got other shit to do? Don't you have like crimes to solve? Now I know as an adult that like traffic cops and people who like wait around for that kind of stuff are different than like detectives. But at the time I was like, don't you have like crimes to solve? Anyways, so Justine's talking about how she has to put her life on hold, and I understand that correctly. I need him to get a better lawyer and to get that parole reduced down to 3 years because 20 is aggressive. 7 at the most. 7 at the most. 5, really. 20, you're trying to stunt up that man's life. You're trying to make it so that that man cannot do anything but the basics. Like, you don't want him to be an entrepreneur. You don't want him to, like, anything. You said your American dream stops right here. And that's just rude. Because 20 years of probation means that you want that person to just, like, work in a factory and never leave his hometown. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that that isn't a good life for those who live that life. But to stop somebody who has aspirations and dreams and put them on probation for 20 years is, like, stupid. Or parole or whatever the fuck it is. Anyways. Is that all? No, let's talk about dumbass Skyler and whatever her name is, Nathan. First of all, Skyler gonna stomp up them stairs and that boy is asleep. I would have broken up with her right then and there. I'm gonna need this is how you need to wake me up. Why am I? Just like a why am I? Why am I? That's how you need to wake me up. Any other way of waking me up is war. It is war. If you wake me up by slamming things, if you wake me up by having the vacuum on, if you wake me up by knocking on my door, no. And also, isn't it your natural instinct when you walk into a space after making noise and you realize somebody is asleep to kind of feel bad and like back up slowly and shush? No, that was not her reaction. She was immediate. She see that man asleep and she's just mad at him and she wakes him up screaming about how mad she is that he didn't answer his phone and how dare you take a nap. I went and got all pretty for you and you're not even answering your phone. You sound like a fucking crazy person. Okay? So that's her moment of sounding crazy. Gracie takes her ass back to the halfway house. Then they go get some food, right? And he gonna pour this rosé wine like it's a bottle of champagne. And then he gonna fill it up to the top. I said, boy, you ain't never had no wine? He's like, no, only boxed. And I drank it out of a mug, which nothing wrong with that. You drink it however you want. But when you're in public and on TV, you leave yourself open and susceptible to me to clock your pour. Clock your rosé drinking ass. He filled them glass ups up to the top. Tippy tippy top. Then she gonna answer the phone while they are eating, and he is very upset. And instead of him using his words like an adult, he doesn't. Oh, thank you, Allie Turner. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Love to see it. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're getting the hee hee ha ha's. I appreciate it. So boy, he gonna like get mad at her. Now, he's not wrong for being mad because she was on the phone. But all I had to say was, babe, I really want to have this time with you. Can you not answer the phone? Can you just put it on silent? But he immediately goes into all of his insecurities, all bad behavior, starts to holler at her and try to guilt trip her and make her feel bad. And she's having none of it. Here's the truth. She was wrong. But at the moment he starts to yell and be demanding in public is the moment that me, Wahima, I'm going to remain calm and continue to let you look stupid. Even if I'm wrong, I'm going to push back, because what you're not going to do is yell at me in public and demand something from me in public in a very rude way and expect me to adhere to that. If you want me to do something, you better have all the decorum, put that smile on your face, and you need to be like, get your ass up. And then I'll get up. But if you're like, get your ass up. First of all, don't say get your ass up to me. I'm an adult. But anyways, I'm just saying, like, if you're mad at me and you want me to feel some kind of way and, you know, let me know you're upset, the moment you try to embarrass me in front of everybody. So in that point, I had to be on her side. Because the way he went around about it, talking about I ain't no bitch. And I'm like, what's wrong with being a bitch? First of all, I listen, I know that I use negative derogatory terms when I use female things when using derogatory terms, right? Like, I get it. I just can't wait till we get to a space where like being a PUSSY isn't bad, you know? And I'm a part of it. I just can't wait, because I just really I hate the way we go. Anything that's feminine is like bad and like negative. And then anything that's masculine is like good. I'm like, I hate the patriarchy. Anyways, so yeah, she stood her ground as she should have. And then he got temper tantrum every step of the way. He's like, I'm leaving. She's like, I'm eating. And he's like, you're not gonna come? And she's like, this food is delicious. What, are you sure? And she's like, hungry. And then he leaves out, comes back, because he answers. Okay. It just seems so well timed how he drives away and says, I'm down the road, I'm leaving. And she's like, good, gone. And then someone comes up to her and brings her a shot and is like, happy out of prison, and takes and gives her a shot. He gets pissed off, turns back around, comes back in, and then throws the shot away, talking about, get up. Now you're making a scene. And she's like, I'm actually not making a scene. You are making a scene. And it's very embarrassing. And I'm like, for somebody who is so worried about classy behavior and worried about like showing his ass and showing her that he can't be like classy, he just completely flies off the handle. And like, she likes that. She loves that drama, because she doesn't immediately pack up and go to her mom's house. She stays with him. She says, okay, well, if you want to break up, I guess that's it. And she's just like, I'm not going out in public with you anymore. And he's like, well, then I guess we should break up. And she's like, whatever. But I'm like, girl, you need to say, I have to get out of this relationship. Your behavior was wildly inappropriate. The way you got upset over nothing. Like, if you want to tell me that you're mad that I'm having conversations with someone else while I'm with you, which is fair, because I was being rude, which she would never say. But like, for you to yell at me like that and demand that I go off with you so that what, you could beat me up in private? Like, no, I'm gonna sit here and eat my meal. And it just looks very triggering. Like, they're just all gonna trigger each other. Both gonna trigger each other. They need to get away from each other. He really did want to be like Kevin, but here's the truth. No one can be Kevin. No one can be Kevin. Nobody. Oh, we love Kevin. So anyway, she goes home with him like an idiot. And that's the end of the episode. Ooh, Stella, say it. So annoying and is low-key giving Fatal Attraction vibes. 100%. 100%. Oh yeah, he definitely is Monique. Monique would have been like, let's go, Derek. Let's go. I'm trying to get in the new car. Stop. It's your sisters. I'm going to beat their ass. You ain't doing shit, bitch. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. It was a good 55 minutes of fun times. Y'all have a fantastic week. I'm going to come back tonight and talk about RuPaul's Drag Race. And then Sunday, 90 Day Fiancé. So get ready for that. That's going to be on my podcast, DocuSweeties. So please, how many of you guys are following DocuSweeties? There's 184 people in this room. Can you just drop a thumbs up emoji or whatever your most used emoji? Just one emoji. Just drop it if you follow DocuSweeties. Don't worry, I'll wait. Okay, DG, somebody send me the link to DocuSweeties. You just go into your, what do you have? Do you have Apple? Do you have Spotify? Do you have a Android? You just go in there and search DocuSweeties. I don't know what to tell you. We're the only ones. Yeah. Spotify. We're DocuSweeties. Here, let me switch over to my DocuSweeties account so that you could see. That's how it's spelled. DocuSweeti. Oh, I love it. No Insta Live. Renee, we know you. We know Renee. Also, the dating doula. She's also, yes, we know. Truly from the bottom of our hearts, we absolutely thank you for supporting us. But please, you should just, of course you found it. We're the only ones. Yay! Okay, guys, I really would love your support if you could go ahead and give us a listen on DocuSweeties, even if podcasts are not your thing. Just push play while you're cleaning. Just, if you like listening to me on YouTube or watching me on your big screen on YouTube, on your TV screen, just go to Google Play, go to Apple Podcasts, search DocuSweeties, 90 Day Fiancé for that ass. Also, other documentaries. We've got, we don't have Call Me Miss Cleo on there now, but it will eventually be on there. Okay, thank you to all of you guys who were in the room right now. 170 people did not put their thumbs up or the whatever. Oh, thanks. Faux that ass. Thank you. Wow, would it be too complicated to know what you guys are going to watch and recap ahead of time so we have time to watch the shows? Yes, it would not. It was not hard. It's not complicated at all. It's not complicated at all. We'll do it. Sometimes we're just not sure. So here's what happens, Renee. There's full transparency. Sometimes it's like, we're going to watch this. Like, here's what happens. Chris tells me, what about this documentary? So then I go, cool. And then I watch it. And then she may not watch it. So then I've watched it and she's not. Or the opposite. She sends me something. I say, cool. Then she watches it. And then I don't watch it. So then it takes a while to sync up to get to whatever we watch. So that's what normally happens while we never know quite in the future what we're going to do right away, because it's never like, hey, we're doing this one, watch it at this time, we're going to record at this time. It's not that. So Thanks, Renee. But we'll definitely try to get it out to you 100%. I will definitely let her know that is a request. I love requests from our Patreon because it helps us to be more specific with what you want. So please put your specifics in the Patreon and we'll get that to you. But I love that because it gives us a direction to go. Okay. Okay, versus. All right. If that's what you like, I okay. I'll accept that. But that doesn't mean you can't just go in and like give your girl five stars on it. You know what I mean? You can't just like listen to one episode. You know what I'm saying? Support, support, support. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. If you're today, if you're interested in RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm going to go later on. But those of you who are in South Africa or in Europe, you may not catch my RuPaul's Drag Race, but you'll see it on hashtag Replay Gang. And y'all have a fantastic evening. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Damn, I've been on YouTube since 2013. Actually, I've been on YouTube. I started in 2007, but you know, we won't talk about the forgotten years. But 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 10 years. I have been doing YouTube for 10 years. I'm gonna go look and see what my first video was, and then I'm gonna do something special for my 10-year anniversary. Okay. Bye guys.